So I'm out on the day hike right now. Stick around because I'm going to give you 7 things that adventuring in the outdoors has taught me. One thing for sure, it's a pretty obvious one, is that you learn you really don't need all the stuff. You're out there with the essentials, food, water, shelter. You might have a couple luxury items of some sort. For the most part, you're just back to the essentials. So it really inspired me to transfer that into my everyday life. Not needing so many things, getting rid of things, living a more minimalistic life, and it's brought me more joy. So that's definitely something that being away from the normal amenities that you have in life forces you to just live a little bit simpler. Let's get getting to the top. It's getting kind of windy. So another thing is no distractions. Your mind can just wander. There isn't much to think about. There's so many distractions in normal life. You notice that a lot as soon as you come out here. Through those branches is Pikes Peak. I'm at a little over 10,150,000 feet elevation. And started at 6.7, I believe, just around 6.5, maybe a little more than that. This brings me to my next topic, exercise. Adventuring in the outdoors is insanely good exercise. You will definitely notice a difference in your fitness. Basically, you're carrying large amounts of weight. If you're backpacking or if you're day hiking, you're still carrying some amount of weight. And if you're doing mountains like this, definitely getting good exercise, carrying even just 5-10 pounds on your back for a day hike. So yeah, it's a really good exercise. It also is very motivating exercise. When you see that peak, you want to get to the top. It's just very motivating, inspiring, and also just amazing views. You get to enjoy all of the cool things you see around you. You could run on a treadmill, you could go to a gym, but you could also just climb a mountain or just go on a long walk, and you'll really get a lot of exercise. So I just had a Think bar. This is the chocolate and cream cupcake, and it was actually really tasty. But this brings me to my next point. Just adventuring in the outdoors really gives you appreciation and value for good food. You can make really good food out in the backcountry, but it doesn't always taste the same. A lot of times you're just eating granola bars or oatmeal, ramen. Sometimes you'll make some of those dehydrated meals, which are really good, but nothing beats like high quality food. And whenever I do a backpacking trip or some sort of adventure trip, I'm always craving something. Like after day 2, I'm like craving like a cheeseburger or pizza, those kind of things. And yeah, so like you really start appreciating after like a day or two the value of really good food. And you can get really quality food to bring backpacking, but it's never quite the same as like a home cooked meal right out of the kitchen, something that's oven baked. But we try to make it as good as possible, right? So definitely bring healthy food and tasty food, but it doesn't always compare to what you can make in your kitchen at home. Some of the views you just cannot get, like this one. Definitely in the outdoors, you just learn how big and beautiful the world is. You can get so many places that you can't get anywhere else. You have to get there on foot. And that's so cool. Seeing those places is very inspiring, and you really learn to appreciate the world, to appreciate how beautiful it is. Just ran into some people back there, just kind of resting their legs and getting a breather, and everyone's just so friendly on the trail. Rarely, I don't think I've ever actually ran into a grumpy person on the trail. They're always willing to chat or like just say hello or just give some encouragement. So adventuring the outdoors also taught me mental toughness and patience. When you're walking down a trail, you're waiting to get to the next peak, or you're waiting to get to your campsite to be able to rest your legs, you really have to focus and kind of push through that. And also, like, weather is another thing that can really affect your attitude as well. If it's really hot, like right now it's almost 90 degrees here, it kind of gets to you at a certain point. But then also, just if it's raining or cold or anything like that, weather can really affect you, and you have to push through that. It's definitely challenges your mental toughness. And sometimes, depending on where you're hiking, you might run into bugs, mosquitoes, flies, gnats, those kind of things, and that's a whole different mental toughness, having to deal with all those. So, and lastly, you grow appreciation for the modern technologies that you do have at home. Running water, whether that's for drinking or showering, being able to get your own water easily from the sink. It's those kind of things that you learn to appreciate more as you adventure in the outdoors. So when you go back home, you just think about those things more. Well, that wraps it up. So thank you for joining me on this hike. And yeah, I hope that you got some value from just noticing or appreciating things that you maybe didn't. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment below. Any kind of adventure outside like this has taught you. I'd love to hear it, so leave something in the comments below. Stay tuned and see you in the next one.